That seems like it for that. It doesn't look like I have screwed myself out of either one of the two relationships that seem to be available to me. It doesn't seem like anybody else is interested. Oh, I didn't check my room. There's probably nothing there anyway. It looks like Caden and Liara are going to be the only ones here. I will continue to be nice to everybody else in hopes that something will happen. Looking at you, Wrex, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Not sure if it's going to be something that is exclusive, if it's just one person, or if I can wrangle up, you know, sexy time individually. It's probably going to be just one. We'll see what we can do, though.
What do you want, Shepard?
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
I finally got more than a sentence out of him. I was excited about that. I thought it was just going to be like one-word answers the whole way.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
So, he's one of the smart krogan, it seems? That's kind of unexpected.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes. A meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
And he killed a whole bunch of people there. I'm calling it now.
Sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
All of a sudden, Jared is your father?
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day.
You killed him? Or...
We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, we've talked about all that.
So long, Wrex.
I believe we've talked about all of that. All right, we have more stuff about the Krogans, their culture. The harsh Krogan homeworld conditioned the Krogan psychology for toughness just as it did the body. Krogan have always had a tendency to be selfish, unsympathetic, and blunt. They respect strength and self-reliance and are neither surprised nor offended by treachery. The weak and selfless do not live long. In their culture, lookout for number one is simply a matter of course. After their defeat in the rebellions, the very concept of Krogan leadership was discredited. Where a warlord could once command enough power to bring entire solar systems to heel and become overlord, these days it is rare for a single leader to have more than 1,000 warriors swear allegiance to him. Most krogan trust and serve no one but themselves. This solitary attitude stems in part from a deep sense of fatalism and futility, a profound social effect of the genophage that caused krogan numbers to dwindle to a relative handful. Not only are they angry that the entire galaxy seems out to get them, the krogan are also generally pessimistic about their race's chances of survival. The surviving krogan see no point to building for the future. There will be no future. The krogan live with an attitude of kill, pillage, and be selfish, for tomorrow we die. That's a good outlook on life, isn't it? Yeah, I don't need to deal with anything there. How you doing, Ashley? It's not gonna happen, is it, Ashley?
Commander?
Can we talk?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
No clothes?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
He's mine. Unless you want to go in.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Unless you want in on like a foursome here.
Are you interested in the lieutenant, Chief?
No, ma'am. And anyway, Scuttlebutt says he's already sweet on someone. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Alright, tell me about... Yes, I did, actually. I wanted to get closer to you.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
After helping raise them, your sisters still talk to you? Amazing.
Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Can you go into excruciating detail about this?
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did. Mike.
Damn it. Wait.
I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
I think I understand the concept of vid mails. I don't need it explained to me. What? Can we go into more detail about this? This could still end up being a good story.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
She gets it.
Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed.
In the woods?
She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense.
That's not...
I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
The woods is not a good place for the first time. Just, no, not the woods. Hell, a car is better than that.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
Mike doesn't sound like the best fighter in the world.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was going to end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
So I hate to change the subject, but, you ready?
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known. Cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
I can't say that I recognize that one. Oh, Tennyson? Yeah, I don't know any Tennyson.
I didn't know you liked classical literature.
Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Can I have one of those?
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home.
I know it's depressing.
Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
You mean from wherever we go after death?
What?
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Jeez. These are my two options here. I do too, and of course not. I'm just gonna go with that, of course not here.
Everyone has the right to believe what they want. Says so in the Alliance Charter, only with fancier words.
I'm glad you're open-minded about it. I've met a few people who are really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
You should probably go talk to people in the Xenosaga, since they pretty much said the exact opposite. We have technology now, therefore God can't exist. Anyway. Wait, I can still talk to her?
Do you have a few minutes
Right.
to talk?
I should get back to my duties, Skipper. Rifles don't maintain themselves. Not yet, anyway.
We should work on that.
I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Sounds good. How we doing?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Gotta admire those colonials. That's about the worst place for a colony I've ever seen. Given the option, I'd get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am?
She still says it kind of like seductively, like, dismissed, Chief. But no, that doesn't seem like there's anything there. Still. Like even Liara, who we just met, is like halfway there at least. Alright, military doctrine. The Alliance military is of great concern to the galaxy. At first contact with the Turians, they were completely inexperienced. Turian disdain changed to respect after the relief of Shan-Shi, where the humans surprised them with novel technologies and tactics. The human devotion to understanding and adapting to modern space warfare stunned the stead council races. Is this stead? For hundreds of years, they had lived behind secure walls of long-proven technologies and tactics. The Council regards the Alliance as a sleeping giant. That is how America refers to itself before World War II. Less than 3% of humans volunteer to serve in their military, a lower proportion than any other species. In America, it's less than 1% now, actually. While competent, Alliance soldiers are neither as professional as the Turians nor as skilled as the Asari. Their strengths lie in fire support, flexibility, and speed. They make up for lack of numbers with sophisticated technical support. VIs, damn VIs, drones, damn drones, artillery, electronic warfare. An emphasis on mobility and individual initiative. Their doctrine is not based on absorbing and dishing out heavy shocks like the Turians and Krogan. Rather, they bypass enemy strongpoints and launch deep into their rear, cutting supply lines and destroying headquarters and support units, leaving enemies to wither on the vine. On defense, the human military is a rapid reaction force that lives by Sun Tzu's maxim. He who tries to defend everything defends nothing. Garrisons are intended for scouting rather than combat, avoiding engagement to observe and report on invaders using drones. The token garrisons of human colonies make it easy for alien powers to secure them, for which the Alliance media criticizes the military. However, the powerful fleets stationed at phase gate nexuses such as Arcturus are just a few hours or days from any colony within their sphere of responsibility. In the event of an attack, they respond with overwhelming force. Very reminiscent of the American military these days, to be honest with you. Somewhat. But let's see what Garrus has to say before we move on. Wait, there we go. How you doing?
Commander, good to see you.
Do you not have anything to
You've
say?
been with C-Sec a while. Have you seen much action?
There we go.
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
You kind of said it dismissingly. Yes, I've seen a lot.
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
Like, you guys see small numbers and you just let it stand? That's what it sounds like to me.